Mykolaiv, also known as Nikolaev, is a city in southern Ukraine, the administrative center of the Mykolaiv Oblast. Mykolaiv is arguably the main shipbuilding center of the Black Sea. Aside from its 3 shipyards within the city, there are located a number of research centers specializing in shipbuilding, such as the State Research and Design Shipbuilding Center, Zoria-Mashproekt, and others.Population. 494,763. The city is an important transportation junction of Ukraine. Mykolaiv's orderly layout reflects the fact that its development has been well planned from the founding of the city. Its main streets, including the 3 main east-west avenues, are very wide and tree-lined. A significant part of Mykolaiv's land area consists of beautiful parks. Park Peremo High is a large park on the peninsula just north of the city center of Mykolaiv, on the north side of the Inhil River. Name of city. The city uses 2 names, of which there are several transliterations of each name. The Ukrainian name of the city is, for which the transliteration is Mykolaiv, or officially Mykolaiv. The Russian name is, which transliterates as Nikolaev or Nikolaev. The city's founding was made possible by the conquests of the Second Russo-Turkish War. Founded by Prince Grigory Potemkin, Nikolaev was the last of the many cities he established. On the 27th of August 1789, Potemkin ordered its founding near the wharf at the mouth of the Ingal River, on a high, cool and breezy spot where the Ingal River meets the Bug River. To build the city he brought in peasants, soldiers, and Turkish prisoners. 2,500 were working there during 1789. The shipyards were built first. He named the city after St. Nicholas, the patron of seafarers, on whose day he obtained victory at the siege of Ochakov. The name Nikolaev is known from the legal order No. 1065 by Prince Potemkin to Mikhail Falaev, dated the 27th of August 1789. In 1920, after the installation of Soviet governance, the Odessan Provincial Council petitioned the then Soviet Ukrainian government, the All-Ukrainian Central Executive Committee, to rename the city of Nikolaev to Vernolenins, as the city of Nikolaev was the district center of the Odessan province. Presumably, the petition would have been initiated by the Odessan City Council. The documentary evidence of this so far has not been identified. On the 15th of April 1924, at the plenum of the Central Administrative Territorial Commission of VUTSIK, the petition of the Odessan Executive Committee was considered and rejected. Perhaps the members of the Soviet Ukraine government thought that the name sounded too obsequious. Information regarding the alleged renaming of Nikolaev was disseminated by German maps of the 1920s-30s, as well as in German encyclopedic publications in 1927 and 1932, which show Vernolensk on the USSR part of the European maps. The city was designated as Nikolaev in publications of the same map in other languages. To distinguish Mykolaiv from the much smaller western city of Mykolaiv in Lviv Oblast, the latter is sometimes called Mykolaiv on Dniester, after the major river that it is situated on, while the former is located on the southern Bug, another major river, and may be called Mykolaiv on Bug as well. Administrative status. Mykolaiv is the administrative center of Mykolaiv Oblast, as well as that of both Mykolaiv and Vitovka raions within the oblast. It is administratively incorporated as a city of oblast significance, and does not belong to any of the 2 raions. Geographic characteristics. Mykolaiv is located on a peninsula in Ukraine's steppe region, 65 kilometers from the Black Sea along the estuary of the southern Bug River. Both the Inhil River and the southern Bug River follow very winding courses just before they join at the northeast corner of Mykolaiv. This has created several long and narrow peninsulas just north of Mykolaiv. and the main part of Mykolaiv is itself on a peninsula at a 180-degree bend in the southern Bug River. Mykolaiv is in a primarily flat terrain area. The nearest mountains to Mykolaiv are 300 kilometers south at the southern end of the Crimean Peninsula. The lack of any mountain barriers north of Mykolaiv means that very cold Arctic winds can blow south, unimpeded by any terrain elevation, to Mykolaiv in winter. The area of the city is 260 square kilometers. Mykolaiv is in the second time zone. Ecology. Mykolaiv's environmental issues are typical for many cities in Ukraine. Pollution of water, the air and groundwater, drinking water quality, noise, waste management, and conservation of biological diversity in the city. One of Mykolaiv's most urgent problems is the disposal of solid household waste. The city has 18 preserved sites totaling about 12 square kilometers. The Mykolaiv Zoo. The monuments of landscape art. Park Peremohai, Petrovsky Park, 68, Paratroopers Park, Square, the Savskij, the Boulevard Bunker, Linear Park, Pioneer Park, Lenin Komsomol, the Botanical Natural Monument Memory Square, the Dubki Reserve Nature Boundary, the Balabanovka Forest Reserve, the October Reservoir Hydrological Reserve, the Turkish Fountain Hydrological Natural Monument, the Dubka 4 Botanical Nature Monument. Climate. The city's climate is moderately continental with mild winters and hot summers. Mykolaiv's average temperature is 10 degrees Celsius. The lowest average temperature is in January -3.1 degrees Celsius, the highest in July 22.3 degrees Celsius. Mykolaiv has an average of 472 millimeters of precipitation per year, with the lowest precipitation in October and the most in July. Mykolaiv has snow cover every year, but its height is low. Average relative humidity is 73% for the year. The lowest humidity is in August, the highest in December. The lowest clouds are seen in August, the highest are in December. The prevailing winds come from the north. The least frequent source of wind is the southeast. The maximum wind speed is in February. The lowest is from July through September. In January, the average wind speed is 4.1 meters per second. In July, the average is 3.1 meters per second. History. The history of the city has always been closely connected to shipbuilding. The town was founded in 1789 by the Russian Governor-General of Novorossiya, Prince Grigory Potemkin, initially as a shipyard called simply a new shipyard on the Ingul River. Prince Potemkin signed an order to construct a shipyard on the 27th of August 1789, which is considered to be the city's birth date. The shipyard was to undertake the repair of naval ships in the Russo-Turkish War. Later Potemkin ordered the shipyard to be named Nikolaev to commemorate the date when Ochakov fell to the Russian troops under his command on 6 December 1788, the feast day of St. Nicholas on the Russian Orthodox Church calendar. The Russian Empire's Black Sea Navy headquarters was in Mykolaiv for more than 100 years until the Russian Navy moved it to Sevastopol, near the southern tip of Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula. During the Crimean War, Mykolaiv became the main rear base to support Russia's efforts in the war. Most businesses that were created in the city belonged to the military-industrial complex, and in this regard, Mykolaiv was closed to foreign visitors for many decades. In March 1816, Admiral Alexei Grieg was appointed to the post of governor of the city. While in that post until 1833, he did much for Mykolaiv. Port facilities were built, a credit society was established, and Mykolaiv increased its seaborne trade. Morsky Boulevard was built in the city, along with sidewalks. In addition, open men's and women's colleges were built, as was a shelter. In 1820, Admiral Grieg founded the Marine Astronomical Observatory in Mykolaiv. In 1826, he, for the first time in the history of the Russian Navy, set up the Russian Naval Headquarters in Mykolaiv. The headquarters included fleet combat training during peacetime and the development of plans for military operations during wartime. From 1860 to 1871, the military governor of Mykolaiv was Bogdan von Glazenap. His highest command in the town was in 1862. He encouraged foreign vessels to call at the commercial port and encouraged foreigners to come to Mykolaiv to live. Therefore, foreign governments established foreign consulates in Mykolaiv. This led to the transformation of Mykolaiv into a large commercial port. By the late 19th century, Mykolaiv's port ranked third in the Russian Empire, after St. Petersburg and Odessa, in terms of trade with foreign countries. In addition, grain exports, supplies of the steppe region, were first in the Russian Empire. Mykolaiv had become a great industrial center in the south of Ukraine. Mykolaiv was major Jewish center of Russian Empire in the 19th century. In the 19th century, the Tsarist governments had largely banned Russian Empire Jews from living east of the Dnieper River. Mykolaiv is in the area west of the Dnieper, which was where Jews were legally allowed to reside. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, Menahem Mendel Schneerson, was born in Mykolaiv on 18 April 1902. In 1918, Mykolaiv survived its first occupation by foreign troops. In 1920, Soviet power was established there. With the beginning of World War II, Mykolaiv was occupied on 16 August 1941. In September, German forces massacred over 35,000 non-combatants, many of them Jews, in the city and its region. During the occupation, an underground partisan sabotage group, the Mykolaiv Center, conducted guerrilla activities. On 28 March 1944, the city was liberated, in part because of Soviet Senior Lieutenant Konstantin F. Olshansky's paratroopers and the daring raid, during which the majority of his troops were killed. In the post-war period, Mykolaiv became one of shipbuilding centers of the USSR, with 3 shipyards: Black Sea.Aside, Kommunara, and Okin. The asteroid 8141 Nikolaev was discovered in 1982 by Nikolai Chernik at the Crimean Astrophysical Observatory and was named in honor of the city. In March 2012, Mykolaiv gained international notoriety for lawlessness and police corruption following the rape and murder of Oksana Makar. Her 3 attackers were apprehended, but 2 were released because of family connections to local government officials. After a media outcry and public protests, all 3 attackers were charged with her murder. During the Euromaidan protests, Mykolaiv was the scene of anti-Yanukovych protests. After the victory of Euromaidan, the situation calmed down somewhat until the 7th of April 2014, when some pro-Russians tried to take over the local administration building. As a result, the pro-Ukrainians stopped them from taking over the administration building and destroyed the pro-Russian camp not far from it, after which the situation in the city became definitively calm. Demographics. Awards. The Soviet government awarded Mykolaiv the Order of the Red Banner of Labor on 31 December 1970, for successfully fulfilling its assignments for the development of industrial production in the USSR's 5-year economic plan. Administrative districts. Mykolaiv is divided into 4 districts. The central district is located in the northwest of the city. It includes the historic center of Mykolaiv, Rokotrakt, Temvod, Salt, Northern Ternevka, Matveevka, Varvarovka. The Zavodsky district is located in the west of the city. In this area, many industrial enterprises are concentrated. It also includes neighborhoods Lesko and Alluviation, as well as towns of Velika Yekaterina and Malaya Karinaha. The Inhalski district is located in the east of Mykolaiv. Among other things, it includes the new horticulture, YUTZ, new watering, old watering. The district has a zoo, bus and railway stations. The Korabelny district is located in the south of the city. It includes a broad beam, Jovanov, Balabanovka, Kolbakino. Official symbols. Mykolaiv adopted its current coat of arms on the 26th of September 1997. Mykolaiv had adopted its previous coat of arms in 1883. In creating its modern coat of arms, the city removed the coat of arms of neighboring Kherson Governorate. Mykolaiv adopted its current flag on the 2nd of July 1999. It is a white flag with the city's coat of arms and two wavy horizontal bars. Mykolaiv adopted its anthem on the 11th of September 2004. Economy. Shipbuilding. Today Mykolaiv is a major shipbuilding center of Ukraine and an important river port. The city has three major shipyards, one of which is capable of building large navy ships. Other important industries are mechanical engineering, power engineering, metallurgy and last 10 years, food industry. Mykolaiv was closed to foreign visitors until the late 1980s because of many clandestine Soviet Navy projects. The majority of the Soviet Navy's surface ships, including its only aircraft carrier, the Kuznetsov, were built in Mykolaiv. In May 2011, Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych visited Mykolaiv and said that Ukraine is serious about reviving and further developing of its shipbuilding industry in the Mykolaiv region. Other industries. Electronic industries are located in the city. The enterprise Zoria-Mashproekt manufactures equipment used in ships and products used for transportation of natural gas and generation of electricity. One of the largest enterprises in the city is Mykolaiv Alumina Factory, which produces alumina, raw material for the production of aluminum. In addition to heavy industry, the city has a developed food processing industry, including a juice maker, Sandora, a dairy products maker, Lactalis Mykolaiv, and a brewery, Jantar. The enterprise Nibelon is one of the leaders in the Ukrainian agrarian market. The Mykolaiv Armored Factory has been a large repair facility for Ukraine's military during the war in Donbass. Engineers at the plant designed an armored ambulance based on the BTR-70 to be used by the Ukrainian armed forces. Ukrainian military presence. Mykolaiv, being an important strategic city in southern Ukraine, has a significant Ukrainian military presence, including the shipyards that build Ukraine's surface navy ships, the Mykolaiv Ukrainian Navy Base, the MAP Aircraft Repair Factory, and the Kolbakino Army Base. Previously, for many years after World War II, the city had been home to the 92nd Guards Motor Rifle Division, the former 92nd Guards Rifle Division. The 79th Airmobile Brigade is based in the city. Transportation. Mykolaiv is one of Ukraine's most important transportation junctions. It is a major commercial river and seaport, and a major highway and rail junction. Mykolaiv also has a dual-function passenger and freight airport, but passenger service at the airport is not significant compared to Ukraine's major airports. In addition to the airport and sea and river port, Mykolaiv has two train stations and an intercity bus station. Air Mykolaiv Airport, one of the largest and most technically well-equipped airports in the south of Ukraine, serves the city. The airport, located southeast of Mykolaiv, is mainly used for air freight and only has limited passenger service. Russian airline Uta Aviation offers flights from Mykolaiv to Moscow. In addition, there are 1-hour passenger flights from Odessa to Mykolaiv. Almost all airline passenger service in the southwest of Ukraine is through Odessa International Airport. To reach Mykolaiv by airplane, tourists generally reach Odessa by plane, and then take a bus, taxi or train, for approximately 2 hours, to Mykolaiv. Odessa, the largest city in southwest Ukraine, is 132 kilometers from Mykolaiv. There is also Aerodrome Kulbakino, a Class 1 aerodrome. Bus travel long distance. Mykolaiv is an 8.5-HOUR bus ride from Kiev's main bus station. Ukrainian private national bus companies Junction and Avtolux operate overnight buses from Kiev to Mykolaiv 7 nights per week. The bus station in Mykolaiv is located at Prospect Oktyabrsky 21. Roads. The main north-south highway that passes through Mykolaiv is H-14. The main east-west highway that passes through Mykolaiv is E58M14, and southeast to Kherson, a major port on the Dnieper River, just before it flows into the Black Sea. The E58M14 then continues east to the major industrial city and port in southeastern Ukraine, Mariupol. The main highways to and from Mykolaiv are from Kherson, Odessa, Uman, Chisinau, Moldova, the Crimean Peninsula, Kiev, Kharkiv, Lviv. Ukraine's roads, including those leading from Mykolaiv, tend to be poorly maintained and can be very dangerous. Roads through Mykolaiv include the East-West Euro-Asian Transport Corridor, Odessa, Mykolaiv, Kherson, Dizhankoy, Kerch, the Corridor Organization of the Black Sea Economic Cooperation, Reni, Izmail, Odessa, Mykolaiv, Kherson, Melitopol, Berdyansk, Mariupol, Novoazovsk. The road M14, having an exit to the main highway M18. Roads to from Mykolaiv include R06 with the highway M05, which, in turn, is linked with the highway M12 in the city district of Uman, having an exit on the route Lublin-Warsaw, Gdansk. The distance of the route Gdansk-Mykolaiv is 1,530 kilometers. N11, N14, Bridges. Mykolaiv, being located at the confluence of two major rivers, has two main bridges. The Vavrivsky Bridge over Southern Bug is a swing bridge with Europe's largest span. It is also the southernmost bridge over the Southern Bug. The bridge connects the north coast of Mykolaiv to its central New Ryan, located on the west bank of the river. The Odessa Highway crosses the bridge and then continues southwest to Odessa. Another major bridge is the Inhul Bridge crossing the Inhul River. The bridge leads from the north coast of Mykolaiv and goes north-northeast to the peninsula on the north side of the Inhul, just north of Mykolaiv. On the north side of the Inhul River, the Heroy of Stalingrad highway crosses the bridge, streaming into the Pushkinska Street on the other side. Rail. Overnight train travel in sleeper berth passenger trains is a very common way to travel long distances in Ukraine, cheaper, more comfortable and faster than buses, and more environment-friendly, for the matter. There are nightly trains from Kiev's main passenger train station to Mykolaiv. In addition to Kiev, trains from Mykolaiv regularly run to the two closest major cities to Mykolaiv, Odessa and Kherson. Direct trains to Moscow, Kiev, Lviv, Odessa, the Crimea depart every day. Train departures timetable. All trains have coach cars. Mykolaiv's passenger train station is called Mykolaiv Passenger. It at the intersection of Myra Avenue and Prospect Novozavodskaya 5. From the city square outside the railway station, buses depart to all other parts of Mykolaiv. Mykolaiv's freight train station is called Mykolaiv Gruzovoy. It is located at Privakalnaya Ploshad. Waterborne travel. Though a major Ukrainian commercial seaport, Mykolaiv has no regular passenger waterborne service. Water transport is offered by 3 seaports and 1 river port, and also by several terminals. The port is linked with the sea by Dnieper Estuary Canal. The canal begins at the island Berezin and extends 44 kilometers until it reaches the port of Mykolaiv. The canal consists of 13 tracks, 6 of which reach Dnieper estuary, and the rest along the river Southern Bur. The width of the canal is 100 meters. Its depth is 10.5 meters. Large ocean-going ships can reach Mykolaiv year-round via the Southern Bug River. The Southern Bug River, which flows into the Black Sea 65 kilometers south of Mykolaiv, is 1.5 kilometers wide in Mykolaiv. Mykolaiv's passenger river port is at Varvarovskaya-Spassk 5. The ports are Mykolaiv Commercial Seaport, Oktyabrsky Specialized Seaport, Dnieperbug Commercial Seaport, Mykolaiv River Port. Local transportation. The main forms of city transport are fixed-route marshroute cars, buses, trolleybuses, and trams. Streetcars. The length of Mykolaiv's streetcar lines is 73 kilometers. From 1897 until 1925, Mykolaiv's streetcars were pulled by horses. Since 1915, powering of streetcars by electricity was implemented, and this has continued through the present. At their inception, the tracks were 1,000 millimeters, but during the period from 1952 to 1972 they were switched to standard gauge. Trolleybuses. The length of Mykolaiv's trolleybus lines is 59 kilometers. Mykolaiv's trolleybuses have operated since the 29th of October 1967. Education. There are several universities in Mykolaiv. The main universities are Admiral Makarov National University of Shipbuilding, Petro-Mohyla Black Sea State University, Sukhomlinsky National University of Mykolaiv, and Mykolaiv State Agrarian University. There are 10 higher education institutions in Mykolaiv of Level 3 or YV accreditation, 65 general education schools, lycees, gymnasium schools, 3 evening schools, and 12 private learning institutions are in the city. Society. Religion. Mykolaiv is the headquarters of the Mykolaiv Episcopate of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, which has 18 churches in the city. Mykolaiv is also the headquarters of the Mykolaiv Episcopate of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Kievan Patriarchate. Religious organizations and other faiths are broadly represented in the city. Culture. There are 3 performing arts theaters in Mykolaiv: the Academic Ukrainian Theatre of Drama and Musical Comedy, the Mykolaiv State Puppet Theatre, and the Mykolaiv Academic Art Russian Drama Theatre. In addition, the Mykolaiv Oblast Philharmonic performs in the city. Mykolaiv has the following museums: Mykolaiv Regional Museum of Local History, the Museum of Shipbuilding and Fleet, the Museum of the World War II Partisan Movement, the V.V. Vereshchagin Art Museum. 4 movie theaters operate in Mykolaiv: Yunost, Rodina, Pioneer, Multiplex. Movies shown include the latest Hollywood films dubbed into Ukrainian and modern Russian films. Media. Popular publications include Vechny Nikolaev, Nikolaevsky Novosti, and Yuzhnaya Pravda. Many publications have an internet version, but exist in an independent internet publication. Television programs that are broadcast in Mykolaiv include movies, news, dramas, cartoons, and professional sporting events such as Ukrainian football and GT. Mykolaiv has the following TV channels: 1+1, 2+2, 5 Canal, ICTV, Inter, Real Estate TV, Tunis, K1, Canal Ukraine, Cultura, CTB, TV, TET, and TRK, http, www, Vipico, TV, CGI bin, HTML, CGI, id_packet equals 697, Sports. Mykolaiv is represented within Ukrainian Bandy and Rink Bandy Federation. MFC Mykolaiv is a Ukrainian football club. The club has been demoted 3 times from the Ukrainian Premier League. MF Mykolaiv's best achievement in the Ukrainian Premier League was 13th place. MFC Mykolaiv reached first place in Druha Liha Group A in 2010-11 season and was promoted to Persha Liha. Mykolaiv's main football stadium is at the west end of Lenin Prospect, near the west end of the peninsula that Mykolaiv is on. Mykolaiv's professional basketball team is MBC Mykolaiv. The team has won or finished second or third in several international tournaments since 1988, and won the Ukrainian Championship in 1992. MBC Mykolaiv is part of the Ukrainian Basketball Super League, which is the top professional basketball league in Ukraine. Gallery. International relations. Mykolaiv is part of the International Black Sea Club, the World Council of Environmental Initiatives, and the International Assembly of Capitals and Major Cities of the CIS countries. Mykolaiv's 10 sister cities: Batumi, Georgia; Trieste, Italy; Bursa, Turkey; Tiraspol, Moldova; Moscow, Russia; Pleven, Bulgaria; Lyon, France; Bohomy, Georgia; Dijon, China; Mogilev, Belarus;